Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Many aspiring immigrants are leaning towards provinces like Alberta as they have lower requirements compared to the Express Entry program. And if you're working in an eligible occupation or if you have a PGWP in Alberta, you can get your PR with a Sierra score as less as 300 and a language test score as low as CLB 4. The education requirements are also low at a high school level education or grade 12. Apart from that, a lot of people choose the province of Alberta because of its low cost of living, stunning scenic views, and tolerable weather, with Albertans soaking up more sun than any other province. If you didn't already know this, Alberta actually tops the sunniest places in Canada and receives a respectable 2,405 hours and 333 days of sunshine in a year. The most sought after cities to migrate to in Alberta are Calgary and the capital of Alberta, Edmonton. The Economist Intelligence Unit had previously named Edmonton as one of the best cities in the world to live in, and Calgary as the fifth most livable city. Calgary has also gained recognition for being the cleanest city in the world. A few European and Canadian cities like these have fallen significantly in rankings only recently, mainly due to the impacts of lockdowns. In this video, I'm going to help you decide which city among the two is better to live in with details like the weather, job opportunities, cost of living, things to do in both cities, the key requirements for the ANP and how you can apply it to the province of Alberta through its PNP program. So do watch the video till the end. Hey guys, this is Jason from Dream Canada. If you're new to the channel, I show people how to save their money and immigrate to new countries through my videos without the help of any immigration consultants or agents or lawyers. You can find all process instructions for you to apply on your own through this channel. Subscribe now because all the information provided here is completely free and I answer all your queries in the comment section and on my social handles on Instagram and Twitter, so don't forget to follow us there as well. Let's start with the population and land mass. Despite the fact that Edmonton is Alberta's capital, Calgary is the larger of the two cities in total area. Calgary has a total landmass of 825.3 square kilometers and a population of around 1.6 million, while Edmonton has a population of around 1.5 million in a 684 square kilometer area. Calgary's topography is more varied with countless hills both to the north and west. With the exception of some ravines, Edmonton has a large river valley but is mostly flat. Edmonton has more trees and is greener. Calgarians have a quicker route to three national parks, Banff, Waterton and Jasper, which are all around a 2-hour drive from Calgary. The city's parkway system, which includes approximately 460 parks and 160 kilometers of trails, is used by people from Edmonton as well. Next, we come to the weather. While both cities face harsh winter conditions, Calgary's winters are shorter due to the Chinook winds that sweep across the city. Winters in Calgary, although being bitterly cold, are not as harsh as those in Edmonton. Edmonton has snow for more than 88 days in a year, whilst Calgary has snow for around 65 days in a year. To put it in simpler terms, Calgary has a grassland climate which is sort of like a biome or an area of land that mostly has grasses and maybe some trees. And as a result, inhabitants of Calgary enjoy bright weather with moderate rainfall in the summer. Residents of Calgary also benefit from the city's breezy climate. Edmonton, on the other hand, has cool temperatures even in the summer. As a consequence, Edmonton has a dry climate with a few summers and low humidity. Next, we come to a very important deciding factor, which is job opportunities. Certain job profiles are in high demand in both cities. When compared to Calgary, Edmonton has a fraction of the oil and gas jobs available in Alberta, despite the fact that Calgary has a much larger number of oil and gas firms. Medicine and education are the only sectors that have similar job opportunities in both cities. However, if you want to work in business, tech, IT, finance, engineering, consulting or any other related field, Calgary has a lot more job opportunities. Because of the nature of white-collar jobs, job conditions in Edmonton are usually more stable than those in Calgary. Edmonton is a more industrial city, and as a contrast, most occupations available in Calgary are office positions. That being said, when layoffs occur in Alberta, employees from Calgary are among the first to be laid off, so that speaks volumes about the job security in both cities. What follows is the cost of living in both cities. Residents of Calgary make more money per family than those in Edmonton on an average. The cost of living in both cities is roughly the same, however, housing in Calgary is more expensive. According to Numbeo, which is the world's largest cost of living database, in Edmonton, around $5,350 would be required to maintain the same quality of living as $5,500 in Calgary would. Now, these figures would include rent in both cities. Expect to pay about $1,300 per month for a one-bedroom apartment in Calgary's city centre and about $1,200 per month in Edmonton, depending on location, size and type. A comparable home outside the city centre will be cheaper by around $200 per month. Residents in Calgary pay around $194 per month for utilities, which would include basic power, heating, cooling, water and trash for an 85 square meter apartment. Residents in Edmonton, on the other hand, would pay around $230 per month for the same utilities in a similar sized apartment. In Calgary, a minute of prepaid mobile calls cost 26 cents, while in Edmonton, it costs 38 cents. In Calgary, internet speeds of 60 Mbps with unlimited data cost $84, whereas in Edmonton, it costs $87. In both Calgary and Edmonton, you can purchase monthly transit passes for public transportation. In Calgary, a monthly pass costs $109 and this pass gives you unlimited trips on all Calgary transit routes. A day pass for an adult costs $11. In Edmonton, a monthly pass would cost you $100 while an adult day pass is $10.25. Talking about things to do, both these cities are among the top tourist destinations in Canada. The Calgary Tower and the Calgary Zoo are among popular family destinations. Head Smashed in Buffalo Jump is an archaeological site renowned around the world for its exquisite preservation of Plains people culture. It's also among the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Heritage Park in Calgary, which is an award-winning attraction, boasts more than 200 exhibits spread out over 127 acres of pristine land. Exhibits include a First Nations encampment from the 1880s and a peek into the lives of pre-railway settlers. The Calgary Stampede is a popular annual rodeo that happens every July, where you'll find chuck wagon races, cattle auctions, midway rides and games, and an incredible array of southern-inspired cuisine. Talking about food, the restaurant and dining options in Calgary are endless, and Calgary is home to at least 6 of Canada's top 50 restaurants. No trip to Calgary is complete without a visit to Banff National Park. Even if you landed in Toronto, thousands of miles away, a trip to this part of the world would be worth every penny. The town of Banff is a gateway to the Rockies and an unrelenting 6,641 square kilometers of absolutely pristine, rugged wilderness. Banff National Park is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site and Canada's very first national park. As you may have guessed, this is a proverbial mecca for outdoor enthusiasts. Edmonton, also known as the Gateway to the North, is also home to a variety of things to do and places to see. So whether you're looking for some of Canada's best festivals, a beautiful river valley, a delicious culinary scene, or North America's largest mall, Edmonton is a great place to live in. Home to over 800 stores, West Edmonton Mall is North America's largest mall and it breaks a lot of records in many other ways as well. It's also home to Canada's largest parking lot, North America's largest indoor water park, and North America's largest indoor amusement park as well. You'll also find a massive movie theatre, an aquarium, a full-size replica of the Santa Maria, which was Christopher Columbus's flagship vessel used to sail to America in 1492. A full-size skating rink, mini golf, bars and many restaurants. Edmonton's North Saskatchewan River Valley Park system is the largest urban park in Canada. With more than 160 kilometers of pathways and an area of more than 7,284 hectares, the River Valley is a great place to get into nature without leaving the city. There are also 11 lakes, 22 ravines, and a host of facilities and attractions such as the Fort Edmonton Park, Gold Bar Park, the Edmonton Valley Zoo, a golf course, skiing opportunities, skating, and much more. Considering the fact that Edmonton is known as the city of festivals, it's home to more than 50 festivals annually. Some of the most popular ones include the Edmonton International Fringe Festival, the Edmonton Folk Festival, and the 10-day-long K-Days, which brings street parties, dancing, parades, live entertainment, gold panning, and a midway that really livens up the city. Edmonton's most popular street is Whyte Avenue, which is located in Old Strathcona. This historic district is full of historic buildings, but is also one of the trendiest parts of town, including many art galleries, music shops, and trendy restaurants and cafes. In conclusion, Calgary is the place to be if you enjoy nature, mountains, adventure, and snow-covered vistas. Calgary also has some of the best museums in the world, each with its own unique collection of art and artifacts. You'll be captivated by Edmonton's picturesque beauty. The River Valley, which is centered in Edmonton North, contains the longest stretch of urban parkland in North America, which is one of the reasons why Edmonton has grown so much in popularity. You'll find happiness in each city, no matter where you choose to live. A few key requirements for the Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program are as follows. You'll need a really low minimum score of just CLB4 for your reading, writing, speaking, and listening modules for IELTS, which is your English proficiency test. However, it's recommended to get a better score of at least CLB 7 or higher in order to be able to create an Express Entry profile, as invitations will be faster through the Alberta Express Entry stream. The other stream, which is the Alberta Opportunity stream, requires you to have a job offer from Alberta. Another great thing about the Alberta PNP is that you'll need a really low CRS score of just 300. You need enough proof of funds or settlement funds for you and your family members, even if they are not coming with you to Canada. The jobs in demand in Alberta have always been subjective and tend to change on a regular basis, but you can get a fair idea about this from the ALIS official Alberta government website, which lists all these occupations regularly. To apply for the Alberta PNP, one can opt for the Alberta Express Entry stream, which I have explained in another detailed video. I'll add a link to it in the description box below. Alright guys, so that was all about choosing between Calgary and Edmonton in Alberta. For more immigration and travel tips, subscribe to this channel now. Do like this video if you like the content, and comment what topic you would like to hear about next. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe for regular updates on immigration, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram as well. I wish you the best of luck for your application and hope you have a great day.